Announcer bot is active. Dave B Racing from New Zealand in Toyota Corner is first on Supers. Moose Knuckle from Canada is P1 on Supers. Best lap is a 1:15.101. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand in Castrol Essies is second on Supers. Best lap is a 1:37.688. Verbal in Toyota Corner is P4. Toddy Mustang in Dunlop is third. Moose Knuckle in Brambles is first on Supers. Best lap is a 1:04.217. Verbal in Suzuki Straight is P4. Best lap is a 6:49.845. Jason Short from New Zealand in Castrol Essies is sixth on Supers. The Race Dictator from New Zealand in Higgins is fifth on Supers. Dave B Racing is P2. Best lap is a 1:04.983. Moose Knuckle is P1. Best lap is a 1:03.826. The Race Dictator in Dennis Hume Straight is P5. Best lap is a 5:16.605. Chris Butt from New Zealand in Suzuki Straight is seventh on Supers. Jason Short in Toyota Corner is P5. Best lap is a 1:05.775. Moose Knuckle in Brambles is first. Jason Short in Higgins is 5th. The race dictator from New Zealand in Toyota corner is P3. Best lap is a 1:04.864. Jason Short in Castrol Essies is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:04.750. Chris Buddett is P7. Best lap is a 2:15.190. Dave B Racing in Dunlop is 4th. Chris Buddett in Castrol Essies is 7th. Best lap is a 1:07.596. Toddy Mustang in Toyota corner is P5. Best lap is a 1:05.343. Dave B Racing is P4. Jason Short in Toyota corner is 3rd on Supers. The race dictator in Dennis Hume Strait is P2. Best lap is a 1:04.316. Dave B Racing is 4th. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand in Higgins is P5. Best lap is a 1:05.151. Chris Buddett in Brambles is P7 on Supers. Best lap is a 1:06.690. The race dictator is P2 on Supers. Best lap is a 1:04.172. Dave B Racing is P4. Best lap is a 1:04.885. Verbal is P6 on Supers. Best lap is a 1:05.720. The race dictator is second. Verbal is P6. Toddy Mustang in Higgins is fifth. Matt Gray is P20. Moose Knuckle and Dennis Hume Straight is P1 on Supers. Dave B Racing is P4. Moose Knuckle in Toyota Corner is P1 on Supers. Toddy Mustang in Dunlop is P6. Verbal in Castrol Essies is P5. Best lap is a 1:05.076. Chris Butt in Dunlop is 7th. Toddy Mustang in Higgins is 6th. Jason Short in Brambles is P3. Dave B Racing is P4. Moose Knuckle in Suzuki Straight is first. Dave B Racing in Dennis Hume Straight is third on Supers. Best lap is a 1:04.505. Jason Short in Higgins is fourth. Toddy Mustang in Brambles is P6. Jason Short in Castrol Essies is 4th. Dave B Racing is 3rd. Moose Knuckle is 1st. Purple is P5 on Supers. Dave B Racing in Higgins is 3rd. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies is 6th. Moose Knuckle is P1. Toddy Mustang in Dunlop is P6. Moose Knuckle is 1st. Jason Short in Suzuki Straight is 3rd. Best lap is a 1:04.410. Moose Knuckle in Brambles is 1st. Purple in Higgins is 5th. Chris Butt is P7 on Supers. Dave B Racing is P4. Verbal in Dennis Hume Strait is 5th. Best lap is a 1:05.054. Moose Knuckle is P1. Dave B Racing in Toyota Corner is P4. Verbal in Dennis Hume Strait is P5. Dave B Racing is 4th. Verbal in Toyota Corner is P5. Moose Knuckle is 1st. Chris Butt in Dunlop is 7th. Matthew Gray 89.mg in Castrol Essies is P8 on Supers. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies is 6th. The qualification session is at R Factor Conversion in Fielding, New Zealand. Moose Knuckle from Canada is P1 on Supers. Chris Butt from New Zealand in Suzuki Straight is P1 on Supers. Jason Short from New Zealand in Castrol Essies is 2nd on Supers. Verbal in Dennis Hume Strait is P6. Jason Short is 2nd. Chris Butt in Toyota Corner is P2. Jason Short in Brambles is P3 up 15.62. Jason Short is up 16.16 in Dunlop. Jason Short improved his first with a 104.163. Purple in Dunlop is 6th. Purple improved his P4 with a 105.728. 1.565 off pole. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is P2 up 0.18 on supers. Dave B Racing is up 0.20 in Dunlop. Dave B Racing improved his P2 with a 104.636. 0.473 off pole. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand in Dunlop is 6th on supers. Best lap is a 124.768. 20.605 off pole. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is P2 up 0.16. The Race Dictator from New Zealand in Brambles is P3 up 0.72 on supers. Dave B Racing in Higgins is 2nd up 0.11. The Race Dictator is P3. The Race Dictator improved his 2nd with a 104.182. 0.019 off pole. Toddy Mustang in Dunlop is 6th. Toddy Mustang improved his P4 with a 104.866. 0.703 off pole. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Chris Butt is P7. Chris Butt improved his 7th with a 107.453. 3.290 off pole. Purple is P6 on supers. Toddy Mustang in Dennis Hume Straight is P5 up 0.22. Toddy Mustang is up 0.29 in Dunlop. Toddy Mustang improved his 5th with a 104.575. 0.412 off pole. Chris Butt in Dunlop is P7. Chris Butt improved his P7 with a 106.552. 2.389 off pole. Jason Short in Dunlop is 1st up 0.11. Jason Short is provisional pole with a 103.994. Chris Butt in Dennis Hume Straight is P7 up 0.11. Chris Butt is up 0.53 in Dunlop. Verbal in Suzuki Straight is P6 on Supers. Verbal improved is P6 with a 105.117. 1.123 off pole. Toddy Mustang in Dennis Hume Straight is P5 up 0.23. Toddy Mustang improved is P3 with a 104.356. 0.362 off pole. Toddy Mustang is up 0.01 in Castrol Essies. Dave B Racing in Higgins is 5th. Best lap is a 104.540. 0.546 off pole. Moose Knuckle in Castrol Essies is 4th up 0.15. Moose Knuckle is up 0.50 in Higgins. Moose Knuckle is provisional pole with a 103.969. Chris Butt is P8. Chris Butt improved is P7 with a 105.996. 2.027 off pole. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Chris Butt is up 0.39 in Brambles. Chris Butt is up 0.32 in Dunlop. Chris Butt improved is 7th with a 105.289. 1.320 off pole. Broadcast Bot is 20th. The race session is at R Factor Conversion in Fielding, New Zealand. Moose Knuckle is first. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is P3 on Supers. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Toddy Mustang lost third to the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator from New Zealand in Toyota Corner is P2 on Supers. The Race Dictator lost second to Jason Short. Toddy Mustang in Brambles is fourth. Purple is 5th on Supers. Purple passed Toddy Mustang for 4th. Toddy Mustang is P5. Toddy Mustang is now P7. The race dictator in Toyota corner is P3, 0.8 behind Jason Short. Jason Short from New Zealand in Brambles is P2 on Supers. Best lap is a 1:10.292. 1.344 off the fastest lap. The race dictator in Higgins is 3rd, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Suzuki Straight is P2, 0.6 ahead of the race dictator. The race dictator is P2. Best lap is a 1:03.988. Moose Knuckle from Canada in Brambles is 3rd on Supers, 0.7 behind the race dictator. The race dictator in Higgins is 2nd, 0.5 behind Jason Short. Moose Knuckle in Dunlop is P3, 1.0 behind the race dictator. The race dictator in Toyota corner is 2nd on Supers, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Matthew Gray 89.mg in Toyota corner is P7 on Supers, 0.1 behind Toddy Mustang. The race dictator in Higgins is 2nd, 1.2 behind Moose Knuckle. Matthew Gray 89.mg in Higgins is P7, 0.4 behind Toddy Mustang. The race dictator in Toyota corner is P2, 0.6 behind Moose Knuckle. The race dictator lost 3rd to Dave B Racing. Chris Butt from New Zealand in Toyota corner is P6 on Supers, 0.4 ahead of Matthew Gray 89.mg. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Matthew Gray 89.mg in Brambles is P7, 0.5 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt in Higgins is P6, 0.2 ahead of Matthew Gray 89.mg. Matthew Gray 89.mg was 7.5 faster last lap. Matthew Gray 89.mg in Dunlop is P7, 0.3 behind Chris Butt. Matthew Gray 89.mg passed Chris Butt for 6th. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies is 5th, 2.4 behind the race dictator. Jason Short is P2, 4.7 ahead of Dave B Racing. Jason Short was 0.6 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang in Dunlop is 5th, 1.6 behind the race dictator. Furball is P8, 2.7 behind Chris Butt. Furball was 5.4 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang in Dennis Hume Straight is P5, 1.6 behind the race dictator. Furball in Brambles is 8th on Supers, 2.5 behind Chris Butt. Toddy Mustang in Toyota Corner is 5th, 1.8 behind the race dictator. Chris Butt in Suzuki Straight is 8th, 2.2 behind Furball. Toddy Mustang is 5th, 2.3 behind the race dictator. Chris Butt in Higgins is P8, 2.9 behind Furball. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies is P5, 2.7 behind the race dictator. Jason Short is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:04.218. 0.230 off the fastest lap. "10 minutes remaining in the session. Toddy Mustang is P5, 2.8 behind the race dictator. The race dictator in Castrol Essies is 4th, 1.0 behind Dave B Racing. Chris Butt from New Zealand in Toyota corner is 8. 3.0 behind Ferbal. Dave B Racing from New Zealand in Castrol Essies is P3 on Supers, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Brambles on lap 10 is second, 0.4 behind Moose Knuckle. Dave B Racing in Higgins is P3, 0.2 ahead of Matthew Gray 89.mg. Jason Short in Dunlop is P2, 0.5 behind Moose Knuckle. Dave B Racing in Suzuki Straight is third, 0.1 ahead of the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator was 3.6 faster last lap. Dave B Racing lost P3 to the Race Dictator. Dave B Racing lost fourth to Toddy Mustang. Jason Short is P2. Dave B Racing in Dennis Hume Straight is fifth, 0.6 behind Toddy Mustang. Jason Short is P2, 0.8 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short was 2.7 faster last lap. Dave B Racing is fifth, 0.4 behind Toddy Mustang. Jason Short in Castrol Essies is second, 1.1 behind Moose Knuckle. Dave B Racing in Dennis Hume Straight is fifth, 0.9 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang was 1.1 faster last lap. Jason Short is P2, 0.5 behind Moose Knuckle. The Race Dictator in Toyota corner is third. Jason Short in Castrol Essies is second. The Race Dictator in Higgins is third, 1.2 behind Jason Short. Five minutes remaining in the session. Dave B Racing is fourth, 1.0 behind the Race Dictator. Jason Short on lap 13 is P2, 0.4 ahead of the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator in Dunlop is third on Supers, 0.5 behind Jason Short. Dave B Racing in Suzuki Straight is 4th on Supers, 0.6 behind the race dictator. Dave B Racing was 2.8 faster last lap. Jason Short is 2nd, 0.5 behind Moose Knuckle. The race dictator in Brambles is 3rd on Supers, 0.5 ahead of Dave B Racing. The race dictator lost 3rd to Dave B Racing. Jason Short in Higgins on lap 14 is P2, 0.7 ahead of the race dictator. The race dictator in Dunlop on lap 14 is 3rd, 0.3 ahead of Dave B Racing. The race dictator is now 6th. Jason Short in Toyota Corner is P2, 0.7 behind Moose Knuckle. Dave B Racing in Castrol Esses is P4, 0.3 behind Furble. Furble was 1.3 faster last lap. Jason Short in Dennis Hume Straight is 2nd, 0.4 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short was 0.5 faster last lap. Furble is 4th, 0.4 behind Dave B Racing. Furble lost P6 to Chris Butt. Moose Knuckle in Suzuki Straight is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:04.206. 0.218 off the fastest lap. Moose Knuckle passed Jason Short for P1. Jason Short in Castrol Esses is P2, 0.3 behind Moose Knuckle. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand in Brambles is P5, 0.4 behind the race dictator. Jason Short from New Zealand is 2nd, 0.4 behind Moose Knuckle. Toddy Mustang is P5, 1.1 behind the race dictator. Matthew Gray 89.mg entering the pits is 7th. Jason Short in Castrol Esses on lap 17 is P2, 1.3 behind Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle was 0.5 faster last lap. Matthew Gray 89.mg entering the pits is P8. The race dictator in Dennis Hume Straight is 4th, 1.2 behind Dave B Racing. The leader has just finished the race. Moose Knuckle finished 1st. Jason Short finished 2nd. Dave B Racing finished 3rd. The race dictator finished P4. Toddy Mustang finished 5th. Chris Butt finished 6th. Furble is P7. Matthew Gray 89.mg is P7. Verbal is P7. Broadcast bot is 9th. The race session is at R-Factor Conversion in Fielding, New Zealand. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand is first on Supers. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Toddy Mustang lost P1 to Crispa. The race dictator from New Zealand in Toyota corner is P2 on Supers. Toddy Mustang in Brambles is P3. The race dictator in Higgins is P2. Toddy Mustang is 4th. The race dictator is P2, 0.4 behind Crispa. The race dictator lost 4th to Verbal. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies is 2nd, 0.4 behind Dave B Racing. Verbal in Dennis Hume Straight is 4th on Supers, 0.8 behind Moose Knuckle. Toddy Mustang is P2, 0.4 behind Dave B Racing. Moose Knuckle from Canada in Suzuki Straight is P3 on Supers, 1.2 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies on lap 3 is P2, 0.5 behind Dave B Racing. Moose Knuckle in Dennis Hume Straight is P3. Best lap is a 1:04.753. Dave B Racing from New Zealand is P2 on Supers, 0.3 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Dave B Racing lost P2 to Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle in Suzuki Straight is second, 0.2 ahead of Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing in Castrol S's on lap 4 is P3, 0.6 behind Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle in Dennis Hume Straight is P2, 0.4 behind Toddy Mustang. Dave B Racing in Higgins is third on Supers, 0.9 behind Moose Knuckle. Toddy Mustang in Dunlop is second, 0.5 behind Dave B Racing. Toddy Mustang lost second to Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle in Suzuki Straight is third, 0.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Moose Knuckle is now P4. Moose Knuckle lost fourth to the Race Dictator. 15 minutes remaining in the session. The Race Dictator is P4. Verbal entering the pits is 8th. Chris Butt from New Zealand is 7th on Supers, 0.4 behind Matthew Gray 89.mg. Verbal exiting pits. Dave B Racing in Castrol S's is first. Toddy Mustang in Castrol S's is second, 0.4 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle in Dennis Hume Straight is P3, 0.1 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is P2, 0.2 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle from Canada in Suzuki Straight is P3, 0.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is P3, 0.3 behind Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle in Brambles is second, 0.6 ahead of Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang in Higgins is P3. Best lap is a 1:04.900. 0.439 off the fastest lap. Moose Knuckle in Dunlop is second. Toddy Mustang in Toyota Corner on lap 7 is third, 0.9 behind Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle in Brambles on lap 7 is second, 0.2 behind Dave B Racing. Moose Knuckle lost P4 to Matthew Gray 89.mg. Toddy Mustang in Dennis Hume Straight is third, 0.1 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator is P6. Best lap is a 1:05.817. 1.356 off the fastest lap. Moose Knuckle is fourth, 0.3 behind Matthew Gray 89.mg. Moose Knuckle is now P6. Matthew Gray 89.mg in Toyota Corner is fourth on Supers, 0.4 behind the Race Dictator. Chris Butt in Castrol Essies is 8th, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Matthew Gray 89.mg in Higgins is P4, 0.5 behind the Race Dictator. Moose Knuckle is 7th, 0.7 ahead of Chris Butt. Chris Butt was 5.4 faster last lap. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Chris Butt is 8th, 0.7 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short from New Zealand in Castrol Essies is P6 on Supers, 0.8 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Chris Butt in Brambles is P8, 0.6 behind Moose Knuckle. Chris Butt is now 7th. Jason Short is P8. The Race Dictator in Suzuki Straight is P3, 0.9 behind Toddy Mustang. The Race Dictator is now third. The Race Dictator is now third. Chris Butt in Toyota Corner is P7, 0.7 behind Moose Knuckle. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies is P2, 0.7 behind Dave B Racing. Furball is P2, 0.4 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang was 1.6 faster last lap. Furball is now third. Toddy Mustang in Dennis Hume Straight is second, 0.2 behind Dave B Racing. The Race Dictator in Higgins is P3, 0.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang is P2. The Race Dictator in Toyota Corner is P3, 0.3 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle was 8.4 faster last lap. Toddy Mustang in Brambles is P2, 0.2 behind Dave B Racing. Moose Knuckle is third, 0.2 ahead of the Race Dictator. Toddy Mustang is second, 0.6 behind Dave B Racing. The Race Dictator in Suzuki Straight is P3 battling Moose Knuckle. Toddy Mustang in Castrol Essies is P2, 0.6 behind Dave B Racing. Moose Knuckle in Dennis Hume Straight is P4, 0.5 behind Jason Short. Toddy Mustang is second, 0.8 behind Dave B Racing. Dave B Racing was 0.5 faster last lap. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Jason Short is third, 0.8 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Toddy Mustang is P2, 0.7 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short from New Zealand in Brambles is P3, 0.6 behind Toddy Mustang. Moose Knuckle in Higgins is fourth, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Dunlop is P3. Best lap is a 1:04.461. Toddy Mustang in Toyota Corner is second, 0.5 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short is third, 0.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang in Higgins is second, 0.5 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short from New Zealand is third, 0.3 behind Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand in Suzuki Straight is third battling Jason Short. Toddy Mustang passed Jason Short for P2. Toddy Mustang lost second to Jason Short. Jason Short in Castrol Essies is P2, 0.6 ahead of Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang in Dennis Hume Straight is P3, 0.1 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is second, 0.7 behind Dave B Racing. Toddy Mustang in Suzuki Straight is third, 1.3 behind Jason Short. Jason Short from New Zealand in Brambles is second, 0.7 ahead of Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang in Higgins is third, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Jason Short on lap 16 is P2, 0.7 ahead of Toddy Mustang. Toddy Mustang from New Zealand in Toyota Corner is third, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Brambles is P2, 0.4 behind Dave B Racing. Verbal exiting pits. Moose Knuckle in Higgins on lap 17 is P3, 3.0 behind Jason Short. Verbal entering the pits is 6th. The leader has just finished the race. Jason Short finished first. Moose Knuckle finished second. Chris Butt finished P7. Dave B Racing finished P3. Toddy Mustang finished fourth. The race dictator finished P5. Verbal is P6. Broadcast bot is P9. Jason Short from New Zealand in Suzuki Straight is first on Supers. Best lap is a 1:19.563.